All right, thank you guys. Did everyone get food? I hope so. We're gonna go ahead and get started now. Our next speaker is DNSPrincess. Is it better to introduce that way? Yeah. And she's gonna talk about something that's super, super even important to my heart as well. So I'm really excited about this. She is a seasoned cybersecurity professional with over a decade of experience specializing in cybersecurity solutions architecture and penetration testing. She's enjoyed a robust academic career, and she works on a deep knowledge of, and she has a deep knowledge of practical challenges in the field. As a mentor, she guides aspiring tech professionals towards achieving their Security Plus certification, leveraging that experience to foster their growth. Beyond her personal life, she's a devoted dog parent, supportive friend, especially adept at navigating the complexities of burnout. Her journey has not only been about advancing her own skills, but also uplifting others in their personal and professional endeavors. Why don't you give a nice, warm welcome to Alissa, DNSPrincess.
Okay, is the mic working? Pretty good? Okay. Hi, I'm Alissa. Thank you for the really nice introduction. That was really sweet. A lot of the things on the screen are what you already said. I work at a penetration testing company. I'm somewhere in between a consultant and a pen test dealer. My official title is solutions architect. Like you mentioned, I mentor people going through their Security Plus exam and helping them find their first job. Love my dog. Don't know how I didn't put a picture of him in here. You all were robbed of that. Love 3D printing. I actually print toys for Toys for Tots. A charity that's really close to my heart. I like Wiggle. Anyone know what Wiggle is? Hell yeah. Okay, if you haven't and you have an Android phone, I really encourage you to download it. Obviously, you can do war driving through Kismet and other tools, but Wiggle is awesome. Okay, I have to give you a disclaimer. I am not a therapist or a mental health professional. I go to a lot of therapy, but I am not a professional. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, see a therapist or a doctor. That's the best way to go. And I'm also recovering from burnout. I had some really hard burnout, and I'm getting over it, and that's really nice. One of the things that helps me with burnout, actually, is speaking and being here. So that's awesome. I like InfoSec Exchange, love Mastodon, took this little poll with almost 200 people answering. And as you can see, people are either trying their best or they're absolutely burnt out. And my feed is overwhelmingly cybersecurity, so a lot of the people who answer are in this field. But I'm going to help you try to get to the middle where you practice self-care and manage stress. So what is burnout? It's the state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion. You lose interest in what you do. You maybe work too much and spend all your time at work and it becomes your identity. You feel drained, overwhelmed, like you can't go forward. It's really hard. Anyone here suffering from burnout? Okay, cool. I hope the people who aren't are here to prevent it and help. And those of you who are suffering from burnout, I hope I can help you too. Here are some of the things that contribute to burnout. Not sleeping enough. If you didn't know, men need about 6 to 8 hours of sleep, and women need 8 to 10. And a lot of people aren't getting the sleep that they need. Negativity, especially negative self-talk. Things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not getting a promotion, I'm dumb, I'm never going to get this cert. Things like that. You also neglect your self-needs, like doing your dishes, taking a shower, brushing your teeth. My dishes pile up, I'm not gonna lie. My partner helps me wash my dishes, it's really sweet. Poor time management, spending too much time at work. You really need to set boundaries, and we'll talk about that, but you need to set boundaries at work. Some of us, especially those who are on call or in leadership positions, often suffer from this. And having poor work or life performance. It really hurts us if we don't get that achievement, or maybe someone breaks up with us, or maybe we have to move. These are things that are all really hard. How to know if you're in burnout? These are all the symptoms that you can probably see. My father used to call me Grumpalina because I'd be so grumpy, and I deserved it. The one I think is really important here is isolating. Not spending time with your friends and family, kind of shutting yourself in, saying, I'm too busy, or even that negative self-talk again, that no one wants to hang out with me, or I don't have many friends. I promise you, you have friends that identify as your friend that you maybe don't recognize, right? And it's important to reach out to them. Headaches, earaches, irritability, eating too much or eating too little. Depression is a big one, not being able to sleep, and again, putting your personal needs on the back burner. So there are some stages of burnout. I cannot say this last name. Do not ask me. But there are 3 stages: mild, longer lasting symptoms, and severe burnout. So stage 1 is that mental fatigue at the end of the day, maybe physical pains or aches, especially if like your back hurts from sitting in the chair too long. Maybe you're not taking care of your physical health. And the Sunday scaries, that anticipation of like going to work and being like, shit, I have to work tomorrow, right? This is more manageable, and I think if you start in stage 1 and recognize it, you're gonna dig yourself out of the hole much easier. Stage 2 is more challenging to reverse those symptoms. You might feel disillusioned with your profession. You feel like you're absolutely ruled by your calendar. Your calendar rules your life, you don't have any free time. Psychological or physical symptoms that last even when you're not at work, or you don't have that cert to study for, or you don't have those dishes to do, right? You might feel irritable, aggression, anxiety, depression. A lot of us have substance use problems, and even suicidal thoughts. And then this is where it gets really bad. Chronic symptoms, if you leave it untreated, it can evolve into psychiatric or physical health disorders. Heartburn, headaches, migraines, grip vacations. So divorce is a big one. When your relationship crumbles and you feel absolutely like you can't survive it anymore. Stage 3 does lead to like breakups and horrible friendships and toxic relationships. And if your job has really high turnover, a lot of people are probably burnt out. So why is it bad? You know, some people you ever heard of struggle point? When people are like, you didn't have it as hard as me, or you haven't suffered enough, right? It's really bad for your mental and physical health. Cortisol is a hormone that we all have. It's our stress hormone. And it can lead to good stress. Like right now, I'm a little stressed from being up here, right? But it's good stress. It helps me focus, keeps us well. But when you have too much cortisol, you get that really negative stress. It can damage your career, your personal relationships, poor performance, and especially low self-esteem. You feel like you're miserable, you do not have to live that way. So here's the cycle of stress. I apologize if it's a little hard to read. I should have made the background white. But we have in the green, we have that like good stress, right? And then we go to another level of stress where we're going up, and here's where the stress curve kind of elevates. That would be closer to the stage 1 burnout. Then the orange, we have complete exhaustion. And then at the end is like true burnout, like complete and utter burnout. You get frustrated, you get anxious, you get angry. Again, not a doctor, okay? But a regular amount of cortisol keeps you engaged and it's healthy. If you don't have cortisol and you kind of just go through life in a daze, it's not that helpful to you. We need cortisol, but it can impair your immune system. You will get more sick if you realize, like, why do I have a cold all the time? Why do I have this cough? It may not be germs, it may be cortisol. Personally, for me, I throw up. When I get too stressed, I throw up. It can cause hormone imbalances, poor sleep, weight gain. Even if you're not eating a lot of food, or you're craving sugar, which cortisol causes you to crave sugar pretty bad, you can gain weight. So cybersecurity really has a problem with this. this. And here are some of the reasons why, some features of cybersecurity that lead to these issues. So we have alert fatigue, like constantly getting criticals, people elevating tickets to you, like the constant threat intel, big O days, things like that. Thinking like, I remember a lot of people freaked out for Log4j, thinking, that's gonna affect me. Kind of hard. You can work odd hours, especially on call, if you're on call, or maybe you're working the night shift, and therefore you're not getting sleep during the day. High demands and high expectations. Now, my CEO of my company was like, hey, the kids, like children, are more successful when they have high expectations, but high nurture, right? But here in this field, we don't get a lot of praise. We don't get that high nurture. We don't hear that good job, or if we're struggling, like a lot of people will not provide you the proper training or what you need. It's kind of that feeling of, we expect you to do this, right? High stakes. If you guys do not resolve a critical vulnerability, it could lead to serious damage. O-days again, ransomware, social engineering, it goes really fast. Shout out to United Health. There's a lot of problems there. And resource restraints, understaffed, skeleton shifts. Does anyone think that their position is understaffed? None of you? Wow, okay, lucky you. I cannot say the same. Isolation, especially if you're working from home. Yes, you might have Teams calls or Zoom calls, but like there's no water cooler situation, right? Unless your company is giving you time in person, it's really hard to be able to connect with your coworkers. You have to constantly be vigilant, right? That next O-day is gonna pop. And it's a really big issue. I'm gonna call you out for a second. InfoSec has a drinking problem. It's true. Caffeine and alcohol will raise those levels of cortisol in your body. Demise, one of my friends over here, does this work? It doesn't work with you.
Top button, hold down.
Hates me. Anyway, he says the InfoSec industry has a burnout problem that manifests as a drinking problem. I'm looking at DEF CON, okay? The DEF CON parties, y'all been? Yeah. But we're self-medicating, right? Because that stress at the end of the day, you just want a glass of wine or a beer or whiskey or whatever your taste is. But that overconsumption can lead to long-term burnout, which is really harmful. The other comment here is agreed, and it's often used as a barrier to entry, right? Like to fit in. If you're going to be a part of this community, you have to drink whiskey. I don't know why it's whiskey. I feel like the InfoSec community is like Malort. Malort, you know how like you take out the trash, and sometimes the trash bag leaks, and there's like the water at the bottom of the trash can? That's how you make Malort. Yeah, that's how you make Malort. I'd say about 75% of security events I go to after work are drinking events. If we're serious about lowering the barriers to make InfoSec more accessible, we gotta fix this. So I hope none of you feel attacked. I know probably a lot of you are like, I don't have a drinking problem, and maybe you don't, right? There is a healthy way of drinking. We all do it. But if you're hitting it real bad or feel like I have to have this after work, think about it a little bit. I want to let you know that you are irreplaceable. I promise you, your job, if you like left tomorrow or something worse happened, you'd be replaced. Even CISOs, even leadership can be replaced. Might not be nice on the company, right? I think some of us have guilt to leave our jobs because it's like, what would the team do without me? You're replaceable. Someone else can be trained, someone has a higher cert than you, someone has more experience, but you are absolutely irreplaceable to your friends and family. And if you're not prioritizing that, it can cause burnout. So here's the thing about prevention and recovery. It's so much easier to prevent burnout than it is to recover. Take the time now before it's too late. You need hobbies. You need to find value in yourself outside of what burns you out. In my stages of burnout, I didn't play video games. I didn't use 3D printing. I didn't do wireless stuff. I love wireless stuff. I didn't war drive anymore. It was really hard. You lose that interest and that ability. And maybe it's because you say, I don't have time. You need to make time for yourself. You need to be able to do what you feel valued, right? If you have struggles with this and you're like, I don't have many hobbies, I don't like many things, volunteer, right? Volunteering gives you that sense of that you're helping people. Even if it gives you a little bit of stress, it's that you stress, that good stress. It helps you connect with people. It helps you realize that you are valuable, you are helping people. And I know that in our industry, we feel like we're helping people because we are, right? Like, especially social engineering, ransomware, and things like that, you're protecting that grandma who gets scammed, right? But you need to value yourself and do things outside of work. If you're like, that's too hard for me, there are online volunteering opportunities, especially in tech. You can look these up. Some people need websites though. A lot of people need their websites secured. Businesses will often ask for help. Small businesses, not like big ones like the Big Four. If you haven't heard of it before, Be My Eyes is an app that you can download. And blind people will call you and be like, hey, I want to wear a red shirt, but I don't know which one's red. I can just feel the two shirts in front of me. Which one's red, left or right? Hey, this is a document, like it says it's basic instructions, like a recipe, but I don't know it. So you help them be their eyes and help, really invest, really take care of your community. And it's as easy as that. There are apps, there's online volunteering. Your soup kitchen or a pantry needs help, especially, what do they call them? Animal shelters. Go pet a dog, right? Unfortunately, if you really want to help at an animal shelter, you're gonna be scooping some poop. It's not fun, but it really helps the dogs. And a lot of times, and cats, and sometimes rabbits, you really find that value, especially when you see that dog smile. My partner, his roommate works at the animal shelter and he brings home dogs. So try not to do that. They're really cute, but try not to do that if you can. They call them foster failures, right? When you get a pet and you're like, oh, I'm only gonna keep them until they're healthy and then we'll find them a new home. You're the new home. Regular assessment of goals, skills, and passions. And this can even relate to cybersecurity in a way. You could say hey, I really want to get into cloud. I really want to know Azure. I want to know AWS. It is self-care to enrich yourself, right? Go on Coursera. AWS has a complete free course you can do. I think Microsoft does too. I don't know about GCP. They do? Okay. Security Plus, there's a lot of resources for that. There's resources for the OSCP and other tests. So you can invest in yourself and say, hey, I really want this goal. Now, goals have to be smart. They have to be sustainable, they have to be measured, they have to be achievable, they have to be realistic, and you have to set a time goal. So say to yourself, I'm gonna get this cert in 6 months. I know that sounds like pressure, but it's a goalpost. And if you have to push out that goalpost, that's okay. But you can't say something like, I want to skydive, and then never do it. Because you didn't make the appointment. You didn't read into it. You gotta have a bucket list. I remember when I was a kid, it was really popular to make a summer bucket list, for school. And we don't really do that anymore. We don't say to ourselves hey, I really want to do underwater basket weaving. And these passions are really important. You need to invest. So just like prevention, recovery needs investment. So you have to make that time, right? You need to put things into your own self, your own identity. You have an identity outside of cybersecurity. I found myself helping people like, hey, use Signal. Hey, here's how you secure Windows 11 so it's not spying on you. Hey, I have a way to help you with your phone. Like, I found myself volunteering in a way through cybersecurity, and that's okay. But like, as you saw, I'm a dog parent. I love dogs. I'll volunteer with them, right? It has to be an investment in yourself. Sometimes that costs money, and I know that's uncomfortable. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to say to yourself, like, I'm spending $1 million. But maybe you want to go to yoga. You want a yoga class, get that physical activity in. And like, it may be 20 bucks a session. And I want you to invest and say, hey, I'm worth it, right? I'm worth this time and that energy. You may need to remove yourself from the situation. I know that's really hard. That doesn't mean you have to quit your job or anything, but you might say, hey, upper management, I need to reposition, find a different role. Maybe I need off this project and on a different one. Remove yourself from what's causing that severe stress. And if you work from home, go outside and walk. Do not work if you can help it. I know not everyone has this ability, but if you can help it, do not work in the same place you sleep. It's actually psychologically pretty bad for you. You're not separating yourself in that way. And I know it seems like a small thing, but I promise you, it will help. Even if that means you just walk outside, you go to the bodega, you go to the gas station, get yourself a pop, you know? I know a pop sounds silly, but it's investing in yourself, saying, hey, I would like lemonade. That would help. So we're gonna talk about some strategies and some exercises from Burnout. And I'm gonna challenge you in this talk. Maybe you won't like it. You don't have to like me. But if you can try these things, I really think it'll help you from both recovery and burnout. So set clear boundaries, right? My manager really helps me with this. I was about to take on a second role, a completely different job, different laptop, different company, all of that. And what I did is I set time. I said, hey, from 8 to 10, I'm doing that role. From 3 to 5, I'm doing that role. My main job's in the middle. Luckily, I set boundaries with him and I said, hey man, I don't think I can do this. So we changed it. I'm a backup now. If someone takes PTO, if we have a really big overflow, I'm here to help. I'm trained, I can do it. But I was like, hey, no. I hate this next one because I'm bad. Regular exercise. Again, kind of a hormone thing. You get oxytocin and a couple different hormones for joy when you work out, right? If you don't like working out, walk. Try yoga. Do a little. Even if it's just like, hey, I'm gonna walk for 5 minutes. You just set a SMART goal, right? I'm gonna do a realistic job and I'm gonna get it done in the time period I say. And even if it's just a little bit of exercise, you'll be happy with that goal. I really encourage you not to set exercise goals based on your body, because that can cause body shame, right? You don't lose weight as fast as you want to. You're not building your muscles as big. Take time, right? Anyone ever heard of TIP? It's a DBT skill. Okay, so it stands for temperature, intense exercise, paced breathing, and paired muscle relaxation. For me, the one that works the best is temperature. I hate the cold, but if you've ever been stressed and you splash cold water on your face, it actually helps knock you out of that situation. I got this really cute thing on Amazon. It's a rabbit, and you can either put it in the microwave for heat or you can keep it in your freezer. And I put it on the back of my neck when I'm stressed out. I put it on my forehead, and it really helps. The intense exercise only has to be brief. You don't have to do it for an hour. So go run. You feel like, and I know that sounds like you're running from your problems, but you literally are. It'll cause that hormone balance that I was talking about. And it really does help. You might get tired, right? So you have that less agitation. Paced breathing is pretty hard, but here's an exercise that actually works. I hate breathing exercises. I have asthma, so I always feel like I'm about to go into an asthma attack. But then I tried this over and over again. It's called box breathing, and actually the Navy SEALs use it. So what you do, and if you don't mind trying, just in your seat a little bit, we do things in 4. So breathe in through your nose for 4, hold it for 4, and it doesn't have to be fast, it can be slow. Let it out for 4, and hold it again. And this is actually a strategy that the Navy SEALs use to, before they go into a really stressful situation. There's science behind this, there are research studies, you're more than welcome to look it up. The other one is finger breathing. Take your hand, and this one has a little bit of tactile feedback, so it's really helpful. You go up to breathe in, down, breathe out, up to breathe in, down again through your hand. And I actually learned this during my Grippy Sock vacation. And I hated it at first. The therapist told me to do it, and I was like, but then it really helped. And paired muscle relaxation. So what you do is you tense your hands, right? Let them go. Try to tense your arms. Let it go. Your shoulders, your back. It helps if you lay down like this. Your legs, your calves, your feet. And just try to do that. It again causes that body reaction and gets you out of that negative mindset. If you didn't know, your mental health and your physical health are linked. They are absolutely put together. And we have to take mental health more seriously, right? Because it has effects on our body. So we can use our body to help our mental health. These are all free, right? I'm not asking you to do something extreme. Get enough sleep. If you're having trouble sleeping, talk to your doctor, see what the options are. Maybe it's just maintaining a good sleep schedule, sleep hygiene. I know it sucks. I like playing video games, and I really should go to bed about 11 o'clock. I find myself staying up till 2. Don't get enough sleep. The next day is not fun for me. When you get enough sleep, you're allowing your body to rest and get what it needs, right? You need enough sleep. Try to be mindful. I have some mindfulness exercises that I'm gonna make you do, and relaxation techniques. You don't have to do yoga. You don't have to meditate. I like these YouTube videos. I know it's kind of not gonna be everyone's thing. It's called Reiki. And there's just people moving their hands like spa music, right? I don't really watch it, but if you go to the spa and you know what I'm talking about, it's that type of music, right? And maintain your connections. Call your mom, call your friends. Don't call your friends if they're mean. But delegate your time. Hey Adam, I'm feeling really bad. Can you help me? Can you just walk my dog for me? Right? Delegate that time out. Manage your time and prioritize in that way. Learn to say no. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Can I borrow you for a second? Stand up. Right? Corey is pretending to be mean to me, okay? There's this trick. When someone's not gonna say yes, you don't wanna say yes, you're gonna say no, and they're being really aggressive about it. Stand close to them. Does that make you uncomfortable?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does, right? It's uncomfortable. Get a new hobby. Don't make your hobby buying your hobby. People like to crochet, right? That's really cool. And then they buy 10 spools of yarn. Go slow, right? It's really fun to get into it really fast, but if you start spending a lot for your hobby, it's gonna make you feel worse. Wait until you're more advanced, then get that super cool camera and a really robust microphone, okay? Level up to it. Allow for flexibility with plans. We get kind of stressed from we're doing time. Allow for that flexibility, it will help you. Coping with change is also really difficult, but it will help you. And then take regular breaks, especially when it's busy. Even if it's just 10 minutes and say, hey, I'm gonna go get some water, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, I'm gonna breathe, and then I'll be back. Unless you're a surgeon or like a life-saving like EMT, you can do it. I promise you. Even if there's that incident, it'll be okay.
Every 90 minutes you need a break.
Every 90 minutes?
Don't go more than 90 minutes, get a break, walk away.
Yeah, OJ has good advice. Also, if you have ADHD, the Pomodoro method is really effective, which is very similar. You work for 50 minutes and then take a 10-minute break. And that way, like, you get that full hour. And there's some more strategies here. Again, regular exercise, intense or longer general exercise, that fits into tip. Ask for help. This is a really hard one. We really struggle with this. It's kind of like a pride thing, right? I don't need help, I'm strong, I can do this. You are strong. It takes strength to ask for help. It takes your ability to like, say to yourself, I'm worthy of help. Practice self-care. I see a lot of people, especially on TikTok, do not judge me, okay? If you have a Facebook, don't talk to me. It's not about buying yourself that bag, okay? It's not about like material possessions and saying, oh, I'm really good, I'll get these shoes. That might make you more confident and that's fine. If you're going to a fancy event, do it. But it's about basic needs and wants. We struggle to take care of ourselves. Maybe we struggle to take a shower. Maybe again, we don't sleep as well. We don't do that. And again, I know it says it twice, because I really mean it, ask for help. Here are some strategies you can use at work. Set digestible goals, okay? Don't tell yourself, hey, I'm getting the OCP in 2 months. No, you're not. No, you're not. Be able to say, hey, I'm gonna do 2 labs today. I'm gonna do 2 labs next week. Make it realistic. Again, you need to outwork, delegate, prioritize, and eliminate, right? So let's say you have 50 ServiceNow tickets, right? We've all been there. Be able to say, hey, Mark, can you take this ticket for me? I have 50 to do. It's fine. I promise you, it's okay. Especially if your job doesn't prioritize tickets, if you're a ticket-based job. Or if you are more of like a compliance person and you're responding to a pen test for vulnerabilities, those vulnerabilities can be prioritized, right? Critical high, medium low. You can put urgency on some services, it helps. And again, continuing education might seem like it's for your job, it's for your career, it's for your next job, right? This generation and like Gen X are not staying in jobs for their entire life, right? They're moving jobs, they're getting promoted through getting a new job, and really doing that for themselves. Get feedback, ask your manager, not like, hey, what am I doing wrong? Don't ask that. What are 3 things I'm doing right? Then tell me something I'm doing wrong. I like to do the compliment sandwich. Hey, OJ, I can't actually think of the negative thing to say. Never mind.
Make one up.
Hey OJ, I really like your fez. You're a really good friend. You're super respectful. You smell. He does not smell. And I really appreciate your company.
Oh, okay, that almost makes with the fact that I smell.
You don't actually smell though. I promise he's okay. And create recognition, even if that's with yourself. I found myself doing better after I was recovering from burnout with my scopes, right? It's so critical to scope a pen test correctly, especially if there's like legal bounds. You do not want to be pen testing the wrong person. So I was improving in my scopes. I was doing a better job. So I said, hey, manager, I'm doing good. Can you check? Like, what's feedback? Like, I'm doing good. I want a big client that I've been working on for like 2 years, right? I was messaging this guy on LinkedIn. I was going to events. Like, I tried so hard. And when I got him, I immediately went to my manager. I was like, I got him, I did it, right? If you are a manager, create that supportive work environment, right? Be the manager you want. Don't be that micromanager. It doesn't help you. It actually causes you more stress, and it's not helpful. Create regular check-ins with others, not just with yourself, but the person above you, right? Managers usually have someone above them, especially their middle management. Ask them. It is always people first, right? Your job should not take advantage of you or put you in a bad place, right? If your coworkers are happy, if your reportees are happy, it'll be better. We all know, I don't have this problem actually. I love everyone on my team. My managers do a really good job of picking a good team. But we have that negative person sometimes, or that really grumpy person, or that person's always negative. They might need help. If you notice that, if you're saying, hey, what's up, and you're taking care of them, the product will be better. Here's more. I'm almost done, I promise. Not with the talk, but with this. Therapy. I think a lot of people need therapy. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. You might have lost a parent. You might have been in a horrible car accident, right? These things are really common. And if we don't address them, it actually gets worse. Reframing your mindset, and I'll help you with that later. It goes with cognitive restructuring. So here's the thing. Our thinking changes our beliefs. Our beliefs affect our behaviors. Our behaviors affect how we feel. So if you go in that order, you start that positive self-talk. You start saying, hey, I'm worth it, right? You'll actually gain a lot of benefits from that. Take those artistic pursuits, paint that picture, open that Etsy shop, do that cross stitch. You can do it. When we create art, we actually have something to like a product to show, right? I knitted that blanket. Look at that blanket on my couch, right? Social support, here, if you're like, I'm alone, I don't know who to talk to. You can talk to me, I'll be your friend. Acknowledge your own feelings. I'm feeling really bad, right? We neglect this a lot of times. We feel numb. We don't want to acknowledge that we're in pain, and it's really important. And honor those feelings, right? Let the negative emotions come and go. A lot of times we say to ourselves, I just don't want to be sad anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. But here, we can acknowledge, I'm not feeling well. But tomorrow might be better. Let them come and go. If those thoughts in your head are like, I really suck, say to yourself, stop. And you can even say it out loud, like physically say stop. And then say, I'm a better person than that. There's a DBT skill called radical acceptance. And this is a really hard one. I used this when I lost my father, right? He's gone. He's not coming back. And that's okay. You have to be able to accept things as they are. We cannot change everything. I can't bring them back. I actually hate zombies, so I don't want to do that. Participate in a healthy community and give back. Take advantage of being here today. This is a great community. And I can say that. OJ and I used to do Circle City Con, and we had a great community. And I know what a good community looks like, and I know what a bad community looks like. Find that and participate. Make yourself a part of it. Again, if you don't know anyone, you can get to know me. And then I can meet you to my friends. And then you'll have more friends. Volunteer and give back. If you need accommodations, absolutely take them, right? You're ADHD, so you might need your manager to write down a bullet point list instead of saying it to you in a call. I have regular breaks. I get 2 15-minute breaks a day to make sure that I can breathe, can get some water, can go to the bathroom, right? Take time for therapy, take time for doctors. A lot of therapy, there are plenty actually that do after work hours, but a lot of times traditional doctors and therapists are during the day. So make that accommodation and say, hey, I need 2 hours every Thursday to go to the doctor. I need blood tests regularly. I'm in poor health. Even if it's I need to go to the chiropractor. I don't really recommend chiropractors, but you do you. Do that. Here's some mindfulness skills that we can all practice. You should pause to do them. I hate journaling. I've always hated it. My friends have given me journals, the 1 line a day ones, but when I took my Griffey Slack vacation, I actually wrote in my journal every day. And then now I do a mind dump. You write down how you're feeling for 5 minutes. And this can be anything. Do not judge it, right? Don't say, I don't want to put that down. Even if it's like, hey, I need to go to the grocery store. I might have toilet paper and ketchup. Fine, right? The next one really helps. Practice math problems in your head. It changes you from that emotional, I don't know why I'm pointing to my brain, changes you from emotional to logical. You actually cannot be in both states at the same time. You can be emotionally intelligent, right, and like use intelligence in that way, but you actually cannot like solve math problems and also be super emotional. Ever play the game 24? You're driving and you see license plates and you look at the numbers and say, hey, that one is 4, that one is 6, that one is 8, that one is 3, that one's 1. And then you try to get to 24. I don't think I actually added up to 24 in that example. You get the point. Yeah, do that. Counting to 10 is effective for some people, but because we're so good at counting to 10, it actually can be a little difficult to like help pull you out. So say random numbers, 7, 59, 63, 24, like random numbers in your head. You can walk while meditating, brush your teeth, do gratitude exercises. We're gonna do that. Yoga, mindful eating. Say, hey, I need to eat at 12 every day because I forget to eat, right? I wake up, I don't eat breakfast. And by the time it's 8 p.m., I'm like, right? Take time. How do you talk to yourself? I'm a failure. I can't find another job. This one pays really well. I don't have that cert. I can't afford to take a science class. Excuse me. And I don't deserve it. You deserve it. I promise you, you deserve it. You might not like this song. I'm not playing it. It's by Flo Milli. Ain't she gorgeous? But she says, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I am rich, I am that bitch. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go get that bag and I am not gonna take your shit. I am protected, well respected, I'm a queen, I'm a dream, I do what I wanna do, and I'm who I wanna be because I am me. I'm not a rapper. But like, this is positive self-talk. And you don't have to listen to music to do it. But like, do that positive affirmation for yourself. Okay. You can do this in your head. It's much more effective when you write it down. If you have paper and a pen, I really recommend it. But you all have your phones. I know you do. Do not lie to me. So right now, I'm going to give you a minute. I see the time in front of me. Pick one of these and write it down. If you can't, say it in your head, okay? 3 things good about yourself, 3 qualities, right? I am nice to people. I take care of my dog well. I wouldn't say funny, but people laugh when I talk. 3 things that have happened that are good, right? I got validation from my manager. My mom got the snack. I bought her favorite snack that's been out of stock, and that makes me really happy, so that's a good thing. I met new friends. I met friends that I'm gonna be with, hopefully for the rest of my life. Things that you can use as distractions that are healthy. It's really important that it's healthy. Shouldn't be drinking, okay? Like say to yourself, I really like for an hour to watch I Love Lucy. I am going to practice mindfulness. I am going to drink water. I know that sounds really small, but you actually really need water. Okay, pick one of these, whip out your phone, open your notes app or text it to yourself, and try this like right now. I'll wait.
favorite movie?
Yeah, dude. Do you mind sharing an example of what you wrote?
Oh, I went with 3 friends who support me.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough because a lot of times I've had trouble in the past trying to find who my friends are. When someone says, "Who's your friend? Who's your best friend?" It's like I draw a blank.
Yeah.
I got people I like. I got people who like me, but aren't good friends and stuff. So I got you. I got Leinster. I got Kathy Ullman. That's a good chick. I got Nick over here. I got Gimli. I've got Wolf Gorlick. That's really helping and supporting me. I'm happy to help my friends.
Yeah. And like I was mentioning earlier, when we're really depressed or burnt out, we think to ourselves, "Oh, my friend's Katie," or "I'm a burden," or stuff like that. Your friends are your friends, right? If your friend is toxic and like, "You're ugly," drop them. Drop them like a hot potato. I'm really glad that some of you took the time to do this. It's really important. If you can do this once a day, and pick any of these, right? 3 places that bring you peace. Stony Creek Farms, unfortunately, has been taken over by a housing complex, but I can remember it, and it's my happy place. French Lick Springs is also a super awesome place. If you haven't ever been, it's a little resort in southern Indiana, super cute, lots of history. It was someplace that my parents and I visited a lot as a child, stuff like that. And 3 ways you can respect yourself. I promise you, you can do this. You are worth feeling confident, content, and respected. If you're not feeling that way right now, or you're not in burnout yet and you're trying to prevent burnout, you can do it. You're worth the exercise. You're worth the journaling. I promise you, you're worth it. Even if you feel like you're not. Say to yourself, "Hey, Alyssa thinks I'm worth it. My friends think I'm worth it. My mom thinks I'm worth it." Do it. Thanks. I'm on InfoSec Exchange. That's my email if you want to email me. I think you need my email to contact me on LinkedIn. So give that a try. Again, I'm DNSPrincess. If I was to choose my identity as a person, it'd be a server. So that's where the name comes from. And I would love to connect with you, especially if you need support, right? I can hold space for you. If you feel like you can't get support or your friends aren't ready for you, just ask, like, "Hey, do you have space for me today? Can you like talk for 10 minutes? Set that boundary and ask them. It's really important. I know we have like 10 minutes left, so this is the part where I'd like to do some Q&A, if that's okay with you guys. So yeah, thanks. Any questions? Yeah.
Linux or Windows Server?
I am, my daily driver is obviously Windows, but I did digital forensics for a long time, and a lot of those tools are only available on Windows, so I got stuck with it. Anything else? Anyone feel a little bit more after doing the 3 things? You guys feel just a dime better? Yeah? I at least helped one person today, that's good.
Writing it down
I got a
helps.
question.
You did?
What do you say for new people getting into cybersecurity? You know, they're all excited and ready into it. What do you say for them? And how can they be reminded of the importance of it? Like, hey, they're 80-hour weeks in, they're 6 months in, and they are ready to die.
Yeah, I think that's actually something about the community and the profession as well. I taught at Purdue for a good couple years, and I saw these kids trying to establish senior jobs when they got out of college, thinking that and they could do everything, right? Pace yourself, set very realistic expectations, set boundaries with your manager, try to avoid really toxic jobs. A really good thing to do is if you see someone with your position at the job that you want, I know it might be a little scary, but reach out on LinkedIn and say, hey, you work at XYZ. How's the culture, right? I think the talk before lunch in track 1 actually had some really good advice. And That was one of them, right? And keep realistic expectations. You are not gonna find an O day 2 into your first job, right? And I know we want to, I know we want our names on CVEs. CVEs are done. But I know we all want that, and just be gentle with yourself.
So what can we do to our coworkers? What can we do to help our coworkers if they're suffering burnout?
So the first thing to do is take care of yourself. You cannot help other people if you can't help yourself. So take care, and then once you feel okay, say, hey, Rachel, I noticed that you're not doing very well. Open up that conversation. Just say a statement, reaffirm the person, and then ask a question. Hey, Rachel, I notice you're sick a lot, you're really stressed, you're not talking as much. I hope you're okay. Can I do something for you? Right? At your job, we all work together, right? Even if it's people not in your position, right? Maybe it's the finance person, right? Maybe it's legal. You're a human, and they are human. So even if it's hard, try to do that. Does that help?
Yeah.
Cool. Any other? Hey, you're wearing a Purdue shirt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You go to Purdue?
No, I'm 17, but I'm hoping I can go there in 2 years later.
Oh, hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Good job, dude. I hope you can too. It's a fun place to be.
Torn between Maine and more important but fine.
Yeah, find what works for you. Be gentle, be realistic, get an F, no one cares. I'm a stomp who's all that.
Yes.
I understand that.
As a hiring manager, I will never look at your transcript. I don't care. Get your paper, man.
Get the degree. I had students that would die over a C, right? And they would hate themselves. They'd hate me too, right? But be gentle, okay? That chem test is gonna be hard. Study for it, believe in yourself. Anyone else? Yeah.
We're talking about not buying into hobbies.
Yeah.
But I'm interested in hobbies like printing.
Yeah.
The cost of that is almost unapproachably expensive.
Yeah.
I would recommend, if you started in a hobby that seems inapproachably expensive at first, give a recommendation.
Yeah, so there are conferences like RepRap that are free, and you can get used machines. You can trade with people. There's also Salad Fork is a really expensive printer that you have to build yourself, right? It's a little hard. Get a Prusa Mini. The Prusas are great. Do not get them on Amazon, they're double the price. Get them directly from Prusa, sorry, P-R-U-S-A. They have the Mini, it's $500, and they do payment plans, so it's really
Is that
approachable.
like a 3D printer?
Yeah, the Prusa Mini is a 3D printer.
Maybe also talk to a makerspace and see if they have that, and maybe you pool resources to have that, to engage in a community.
Yeah. I have a guilty pleasure of mine. Lots of filament. I like all the colors, but now I use the filament in a really productive way. I need to print toys for Toys for Tots. So I do end up using what I have, but don't be that person that buys 20 rolls of filament from Micro Center. I know. Okay. I really appreciate you guys. Are there any last questions or comments or concerns or things that you just want to say?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
All right.
Guys, can we do more of a applause for that, because that was awesome. In a few minutes as our next speaker gets set up, so get ready. Just a few minutes.